Hello, and welcome to my channel, such as it is. I'm calling it 53andMe because I am 53, and it is about me, particularly in my journey to start over in my life. I have moved from Palm Bay, Florida, to the western Pennsylvania area. I am originally from Lancaster County, which is closer to Philly. My parents moved down to South Florida when I was about 7. I've lived most of my life in Florida with brief stints in central New York and Georgia. Uh, it's a long story to tell you the truth. I am not particularly proud um, of having to start over this late journey in my life, and having no real career to speak of. Um, when I grow up, I would love to be a successful writer. I have been a writer. I've had various short stories published in under various pseudonyms. I've been an editor. Uh, I worked briefly for a um, small UK publisher as an editor. Uh, I've written, like I said, I've tried my hand at writing romance novels in my early stages, which I read my first romance novel and I said, hey, I read it when I graduated from college in 2000, which I know it sounds kind of late considering how old I am. That it will be a whole nother video, I'm sure. But I graduated with a BA in theater, which is ultimately very useless. I will admit, yes. Um, uh, anyway, I read a romance novel and I said, hey, I could do that. It's easy. Which was the famous last words. Um, it was a lot harder than I anticipated. I wrote several novels. Some were made it a little more progress than others, but I will happily admit to them when I go back and look at those things now, they were not worth publishing. I think I've progressed a lot since then as a writer. Hopefully, when I get more settled and things calm down, I can go back to writing. I have several ideas, and hopefully, I will make something out of those ideas. But, um, long story short, um, too late. Uh, I explored a number of different paths in my life because, well, I don't know. I never really knew what I wanted to be. And um, I tried various things to find where I thought I fit in life. And I think that I fit most, you know, as a writer, but it's hard to be successful at that. I think it was 2021 when I got a steady job as a cashier at I don't want to say the name of the store, but it was a convenience store gas station chain. And that's what I've been doing for the last several years. Um, Consequently, things in my life, I was living in my father's house, well, my parents' house. And after my mother died, he put me on the deed, so it was both of our house. But I gave him permission to do a reverse mortgage on the house. So when he got dementia, and he had to move out of the house because it was impossible for me to take care of him full time because I had to work and he needed constant supervision. The house had to be sold, so I had to move. Okay. Um, go on to this on the other video that will not be aired until I move away from the locations that I mentioned in the video, because I thought it was not a good idea to publish a video saying exactly where I was. Anyway, the house had to be sold. I had to move. It was just impossible for me to afford housing in Palm Bay on my salary and from the very small amount of money that I was going to get from the sale of the house. The reverse mortgage was quite extensive. He had squandered the money because of, again, things I will not go into. So basically, he sold the house out from under me, and the house was not in great shape. It sold for what we could get for it, and then it had most of the money had to go to paying off the reverse mortgage that he took. So it did not leave me with much money. So I decided, because the cost of living appeared to be more reasonable in and around the Pittsburgh area, that I would move to this area. I know I have family on the Philly side, but I'm not close with them, and I'm not going to ask any of them for help. I made that promise to myself and to them. I am not particularly proud of where I am right now in life, or it is an embarrassment, but it is what it is. There's no positive, there's no good, to come from, blame or berating myself for past mistakes, or missteps, or from disappointments that have happened, or from hardships that I've had, and there's no use in belaboring those things. So right now we're taking everything I have and starting over. So when the house had to be sold, I packed up everything I had, or everything I could fit in my car, and took the cat. I have a cat, and I'm sure she'll be featured at some point. And here we are. I am currently in a hotel room. I'm going to be moving to another hotel room tomorrow because this one was unsatisfactory. Not in the same hotel. I'm going to go somewhere else. And consequently moving closer to the Pittsburgh area. It's a big city, so I'm not worried about telling you my exact location. I've applied for a number of jobs. I've only been here like less than a week. I had one interview that I don't think is going to lead anywhere, because there was a number of applicants, and I think it was like if you know anything about theater, the movies, it was like a casting call, so to speak. There was a lot of feelers put out to a lot of people, and you had to like make it to the next round, and I don't think I made it to the next round, but we'll see. I have other options that I think might be more promising. I kind of equated to the story of the movie Failure to Launch, except without the great career and the good-looking actors. But yeah, so we're starting over. Me and the cat. Um, yeah, just us. Um, such as we are. I apologize in advance because I don't usually wear makeup. I'm as what do you call it? Um, I'm low maintenance. That's the term I was looking for. Low maintenance. I'm probably as low maintenance as they come. Uh, and yeah, I've got Ozempic face because I am on Ozempic. So we can talk about that sometime, maybe. I also have marks. I don't know if you can see it very well, because I also use a CPAP machine because I have sleep apnea. Surprise, surprise. Um, so yeah, if you could like this channel and subscribe to it, that would be helpful to get me started. And hopefully, there will be more videos and probably hopefully about more interesting subjects. So thank you, and thank you for watching.